What's up, everyone? Sean Taylor here. It's crazy how we get off a Thanksgiving holiday and then we're just rushing for a couple of weeks towards the Christmas winter holiday, and it feels like there's not enough time to do anything. This household is in maximum stress because of college applications. And they are not the same as when my wife and I were kids. This is so difficult. You got a common app, and then you got departmental apps, and you got supplemental questionnaires, and everybody wants some money from it. No, it would be super dope is that if you got into the school, they turned your application fee into a book voucher, a food voucher, or something. But these people, my goodness, the amount of money we have been spending on processing application fees is unprecedented, but it is what it is. And in this process, I'm talking to other people who have kids our daughter's age, and they're going through the same college application process. And there's a lot of interesting conversations around what kids are and not allowed to pursue, excuse me, at uni. And I don't understand that. So I'm not going to mention any names. Part of me wants to because I felt a way, but I realized that me feeling a way is literally just ego, and I need to let the ego go because me naming them and trying to be shady doesn't do anything for the situation. However, I'll contextualize what I'm talking about. So a lot of parents are talking about, yes, majors. What are your kids going to do? My kid is an actor. She happens to be a very talented actor too. Not just because she's my child, but because every show she's in, people are like, oh my God, this kid's amazing. And she is. And so she wants to get a BFA or a BA in acting or a BFA acting theater. We're like, sweetheart, you go ahead. My wife and I really didn't have that support. My wife is an orphan, so she really didn't have that support. My parents were just disinterested, so I did not have that support at all when it came to picking a major. So I decided to go. I wanted to. Part of it was other relatives were like the practical route. West Indian stuff. Engineer, attorney, doctor, philosophy, religious studies, culture anthropology, digital humanities. Right. So went a different way. So when we were telling people that our daughter wants to be an actor and that we are supporting her in that, people looked at us like we stole somebody's puppy and did something wrong to it. Like, you're doing what? That's not practical. You're letting your child follow their dreams. That's my interpretation of what they're saying. Absolutely. If my child has a dream that she can articulate and me and her mother can support her, she is going to get that support no matter what. The amount of parents who clip the wings of their child before that child's even ready to take flight is ridiculous. And I get it. Your job as a parent is to make sure that your child is taken care of, that your child is safe, that your child is protected. I 100% understand that. However, how we go about this sometimes is that we are protecting our children from circumstances from our pasts. How are you going to parent from your past for your child's future? I'm a whole ass 20th century Gen X parent. How am I gonna try to dictate a 21st century child's future? My number one job is to create a big enough sandbox for her to bang around in, but she has freedom. I know that there's safety in place, but you can bang around all in this area as much as you want. And that's what I want for her. And that's what me and her mother are doing. What we are doing is letting our daughter be as free as she possibly can be. People are talking about acting is so competitive. Every job is competitive, except for jobs that many people don't want. Because there's such high turnover, there's always openings. And that's not what we want for our child. Yes, acting is going to be hard. It's going to be even infinitely harder with AI. But can we AI the stage yet? I don't think so. And the stage is where this young woman finds infinite joy. And when I say joy, that is the thing I want most. Do I want her to be stable? Absolutely. Do I want her to have love? Absolutely. However, I'm prioritizing her joy and her happiness over everything else. She will always have her parents to be a safe place to land. Always. But go out and make your own mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes me and your mother did. Don't feel as if you're corralled into a very narrow, very specific channel through which to find your future. Absolutely not. And when I tell people this, it seems so foreign to them because I think so many people my age have this is not to be offensive in any way, shape, or form. However, I think people have stopped dreaming at that age. I think people have stopped dreaming. I think people have looked at themselves in the mirror and gave themselves a cutoff and stayed exactly where that cutoff was and hasn't even tried to see what was beyond it. I think we prematurely age ourselves, especially parents, because we take this parenting thing seriously. But we are treating our kids as if they are extensions of us. My child is not an extension of me at all. She comes from us, but our job is to be the best stewards possible. We are shepherding her to her own adulthood. And if that adulthood constitutes her taking a degree, BFA, BA, whatever, in acting, so be it. She has our 100% full support. And I'm just bugging out on how many people I hear these guys, I have a group of guys I hang out with every once in a while, and a lot of these people peaked in high school. Like, yeah, when I was playing football, I'm like, yeah, bruh, you look like a football now. You're no longer playing it. Calm down. Stop always reminiscing about how you had this hard work ethic and this and that. Your child is in a different temporal context. Your child is completely different. And I get it. The reality with the AI and the rest is like there's going to be way more Eloy and Morlocks happening. That's going to happen. That stratification is going to happen. However, do I want my child to be financially successful and be a horrible person? Or do I want her to be able to make her own way through a joyful, abundant, generative outlook on the world? And that, column 2, please, option B. Because if you are joyful and you are happy and you know that your parents support you, there's not much that can stop you. A lot of us, I know my generation, a lot of us were parenting in exact opposition of our parents, which I'm doing now. I'll say that. However, unlike a lot of the parents that I know of, the parents of my generation, I'm having a damn good time with it. I'm having a good time with my wife. I'm having a good time with my kid. I'm having a fantastic time watching her grow into the phenomenal actor that she is with her opening night this Friday, December 12th. Go ahead, girl. Christmas Carol. I see you, Ghost of Christmas Past. So proud of her. I never once in my life had a parent tell me they were proud of me. When I went to university, guess what? I did all the paperwork, took out the loans myself. Got a couple of scholarships, got pretty lucky. Did that all by myself. She's got 2 multi-degreed parents in the house who are able to walk her through this process, but we're only walking her through the process. We're not walking her through her choices. Her choice to be an actor, her choice to get a BFA or a BA honors and wherever she's going, that's her choice, and we are going to support that. Stop clipping your kids' wings. Stop being their major no in their lives. Of course, when it comes to safety, you want to hold boundaries, but for God's sake, stop cutting off your kids' wings. Let them fly. And don't be jealous because they have, quote unquote, more freedom, more support than you did. They're supposed to. Our kids are supposed to have better lives than us. They are supposed to. That is what's meant to happen. And I know too many people who have problems with that. Like, oh, that my kid's spoiled. And trust me, I had those thoughts many a time. I remember one time there was this little rift that she and I had. I was like, look, you turn on the lights and they come on. You turn on the water and the water comes out clean. You open the fridge, there's food in the fridge. What are you complaining about? And then I had to take a step back and go back and apologize to her because I was being a dick. Because of course the lights are supposed to come on. Of course the water's supposed to be clean. Of course there's supposed to be food in the fridge. Of course you have heat and electricity consistently. That is a given. Your job as a parent to make that's baseline. That's like below Maslow's base in his pyramid. That's just that's just what you're supposed to do. But you're also supposed to let them venture out, have those adventures, move past your past and into their future. And I know I said this a whole bunch of times on this video. However, I'm going to say it again. Stop clipping your child's wings. Your job is to be a dream amplifier, not a dream killer. Look, I don't mean to get so but I just hate it when I see parents not give their children what they need to thrive. Survival is whatever, but to thrive and to be happy. We leave joy and happiness out of so many conversations when it comes to our children's future. Let your kids be joyful. Let them joyfully hopscotch, break dance, moonwalk into whatever the future has for them. And if the future kicks their ass, make sure they have a home to come back to lick their wounds. That's it. That's what we're supposed to do as parents. And if you want to further this conversation, go to say.it at imadadwtf.com or go to imadadwtf.com. You'll see the connect button, fill out that form. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Take care, everybody. And once again, dream for your children, not in spite of them. Peace.